So, here you have Virgin One in Ireland. The lady on the right, she works for the Daily Mail. Now, the reason I'm sharing this is solely for this poisonous woman here. The Daily Mail is like one of the worst rag papers in Ireland, in the world, right? But let's talk about the one in Ireland for the moment. Daily Mail is the one that when innocent people get arrested, they print their name and don't think of it. They just print their name out there, in the hopes that it deters other people from doing what they were doing, which was trying to highlight iPass centres being put in areas straight across from like a Burger King or, a UCI cinema, or Odeon, sorry, it's called Odeon now, or 5 minutes down the road from a children's school. People like have genuine concerns about that because why are they putting centres into areas that are so close to areas that have young children in it? Anyway, Daily Mail here is talking. This guy talks about it first, so have a listen.
Sarah, I was just saying to you during the ad break, the one demographic that I'd have some concern about now is basically people like of our parents' generation, our mums, who might previously have seen something on Facebook, but it would have already had the greyed out slate where it wasn't as easy to share and to see and to be perhaps, fall victim to disinformation. And now if that's going to be democratized somehow, it does mean that people who don't necessarily see everything as dubious will be taken in by stuff.
Interesting, right? So it's going to be democratized, he said. That an interesting word. It's going to be democratized. Mark Zuckerberg came out recently and said that he was going to remove, or probably not fully remove, but ease back on fact checkers and all this stuff. Because he says that's what destroyed Facebook, was bringing in these fact checkers and all this stuff. So they're worried now because the older generation who might have come across pages on their Facebook, but they would have been blurred out or a warning put on them, as in this is false, don't believe it type of thing, So now they're worried that the older generation are going to start to see stories that are, in these people's heads, all these stories are fake, These would be the ones that would agree with Zuckerberg when he first installed fact checkers, because these people want to control the narrative as much as possible. Daily Mail being one of them. So, listen to what she says.
Yeah, completely. And not even just like people of a generation who say have had to come to terms with social media. People who are being born into the social media age as well, who are digital literacy isn't taught in schools. You are not taught to have a bit of cop on and to see what, is real or fake online. So it definitely is a huge concern. And
it's like she wants it to be put in place before you use anything online, that you're told what to believe and what not to believe. Isn't that crazy stuff? That's basically just what she said there with the literacy comment. She wants people to basically think like her, or think like our company is telling her to think, It's crazy stuff, man. They're just like, the longer all this stuff around censorship goes on, they just keep, I told you, once they start telling lies, once they tell a lie, they have to tell more lies to cover up that first lie. And then it just snowballs. And then they just end up going on TV and looking like complete idiots like this.
It doesn't have to be as extreme as kind of like Stevie gave two very good examples of kind of, vaccines are not real. It can be smaller scale, more harmful.
Of course, they have to throw in that one there about the old Jabberwocky, That was our big card that they played. So they have to keep talking about that
stuff. And it's all kind of planting seeds, which ultimately feeds a more harmful, demographic. And it's people, just through a lack of digital literacy and being skeptical about things that, they're like, skepticism is not something that I would generally encourage in.
Yeah, you see, and see the way they're smiling when they're saying it. Skepticism isn't something that I'd normally encourage, Why? Why wouldn't she? Because she just wants you to believe everything that she puts in, that whole paper puts in. Like, this is the way they see the world, She goes and works for the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail tell her, right, this is how everything operates, and then she just projects that onto everyone else. That's all this is, you know. Skepticism isn't something I'd encourage, you know. Why? Because people might actually come to get to the realization and get to real facts about something that you guys print. Yeah?
People, I like it. I think as a population, we're quite open and trustworthy, but also in certain cases when you're not, equipped with the skills to be able to see what might be dodge and what isn't.
And she's talking about literacy and she's saying, what might be dodge? What might be dodge? Okay.
It's definitely a real kind of threat, and especially to, it's people of all ages for sure.
These people are pure poison. Yeah, all Daily Mail, all of them, they all need gutting and start vetting people that they employ there, because this is just a joke, an absolute joke. You think they'd send a better representation up than this yoke?